Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, March 14th, 2022. Precipitation for the past 14 days is shown here. It's still been a pretty generally dry weather pattern for some areas over the last couple of weeks, especially along the Snake River Plain, and even the mountains of central Idaho have been below normal for the last couple of weeks. That's not helping their snowpack for sure. Also, western Nevada and southern Nevada into southwest Utah have been very dry. But there was a pretty good storm that came through and brought a fair amount of precip to central and northeast Nevada and northern and central Utah and even up into portions of western Wyoming. So a bit of a mixed bag, but definitely some drier areas out there. Snowfall accumulations for the past 72 hours are shown here. We have had some precip there over the central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming into northern Utah over the past couple of days. Current snowpack is also shown here on the right. We can see that values are below normal across much of the area for the time of year, but thanks to some cooler temperatures and some intermittent precipitation, the values haven't continued to drop significantly. And we actually have values that are closer to normal in parts of eastern and southern Utah, with some of our lowest values up here in southern Idaho and even portions of the central Idaho mountains. The satellite imagery for this morning is showing general ridging in place over the Great Basin for warmer and drier conditions today. There is a low pressure system moving into the Pacific Northwest here off the coast that will bring another chance of rain to the area starting tomorrow. So for today, again, generally warm and dry conditions. By later in this afternoon, we'll start to see some cloud cover begin to move into especially northern and far western portions of the area. Ventilation rates aren't super impressive yet today under this high pressure, but those should improve over the next few days. Transport winds today are going to be light, especially over Utah and Nevada under that ridge. They pick up a little bit further north, closer to the center of that low pressure. And mixing heights are on the lower end across the area today. On Tuesday, however, that low swings inland over the Pacific Northwest and brings that nice long broad trough and cold front into, well, not a super strong cold front in terms of cold temperatures, but bringing precipitation to much of the area, especially the north and west on Tuesday into Wednesday. So ventilation rates improve on Tuesday. We will see wind speeds pick up associated with that low. Not super high across much of the area, but picking up over western and northern Nevada, portions of Idaho, and then the western Wyoming mountains here. We'll see gusts up around 50 to 60 miles an hour possible on some of those ridges. Mixing heights do improve on Tuesday, especially over Nevada and western Utah. On Wednesday, that trough continues to track across the eastern Great Basin, and so we'll see precip lingering there over central and eastern Utah into Wednesday. Ventilation rates remain pretty high on Wednesday. The winds decreased quite a bit for Wednesday behind that trough, but the mixing heights remain really high, leading to those higher ventilation rates. Clearing index for the next 3 days is shown here. Not really great values today across the state. They'll start to pick up tomorrow, especially across the south and west with those increased winds. And then on Wednesday, the values are pretty high statewide behind that trough. 3-day precip totals are shown here. Best chances for precip are coming to the central Idaho mountains, northern and, mostly northern Nevada and the higher elevations of northern Utah and western Wyoming. On Thursday, we'll see a break in the precip with a return of drier conditions. Ventilation rates begin to decrease under that temporary ridge. And then generally more ridging, warm and dry conditions on Friday. Ventilation rates still kind of a mixed bag. But we will see the winds potentially picking up again on Friday ahead of another trough that's beginning to move into the Pacific Northwest. That low will begin to affect the area on Saturday, especially across the western portions of the geographic area. We can see that low stacks up here just off the California coast on Saturday, beginning to bring some precip in. Ventilation rates improving on Saturday as well. And then that main low moves through on Sunday, bringing another pretty good chance of precipitation to the Great Basin if this forecast holds true. Ventilation rates still remaining high as that trough moves through. So the precipitation is shown here for days 4 and 5. This is just Thursday through Saturdays. We're expecting general ridging and dryness across the geographic area before that next trough comes through later in the day on Saturday into Sunday and lingering into Monday. The extended forecast for March 21st through the 27th is calling for below normal temperatures across the northern and northeast portions of the area and below normal precipitation across the southwest. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Thursday for the latest updates.